Welcome to Soggy Pizza Podcast, episode 27. I'm Allan.
I'm Sean.
And we've been gone for quite a while. How long's it been, buddy?
Yeah, I don't know. A couple of months.
Now, more than a couple of months. It's
Yeah.
probably been 6-7 months. And what's the reason why?
Well, university, I guess, but
I
I don't think that's the reason.
I think that's a big reason. We've just been so busy. And tell them where you are now, buddy.
Well, I was going to University of Lethbridge. I've been accepted back to University of Calgary, though, so guess I went there for 2 semesters, and now I'm coming back.
And what did you go there for?
Thought it would be fun. Thought it would be a good idea.
But what classes are you taking?
I'm doing computer science.
And what was your grade point averages?
I got a 4.0 first semester, and I'm currently at I think I should be at a 4.0 right now, but if not, I'm at like a 3.93.
And what was it? Well, good for you. That's a lot. That's a lot of work.
Yes.
But you know what? All in all, you didn't really have a choice. You went. You did what you had to, and you're coming back.
Pretty much. Yep.
You got accepted into it. But what was the reason that you worked so hard for?
I wanted to. I wanted to come back. That's my main reason why I work so hard.
Yeah.
I wanted to come back. I actually had a reason to work, so that's the main reason why.
And that kind of, so you had a reason to work. So now that you're coming back here, you think when you start UFC in computer science, you think you're going to work as hard?
Nope.
Why do you
That
say
was
that?
a lot of work. That was a lot of work. Obviously I like having that high of a mark, but it was so much work and it's just a lot of stress. And I'd rather be, happy. So rather happy than stressed out. So.
But did you? So one thing that worries me, it doesn't worry me because you're extremely smart, is are you going to work as hard? Just you had a goal to get back here. What's going to stop you? What's the difference when you come back to UFC? You want to get good marks,
of course, yeah. That's more or less just the main reason. Like obviously I don't have as much of an incentive anymore, but I don't know. I still want to get good marks at least, so that'll probably be the reason.
I think it was good for you to go.
Well, it was because it was the only way to actually get back.
Yeah, I know, but I think it was good. It's tough it's tough living in residence with people you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Like you kind of got thrown in there, and it's tough. You don't know anybody, and these people aren't always who you're going to want to be with.
Of course, yeah.
And that was it. But everything else, so it was good though. You're 19. You're going to be 20 this year. You're old.
Thanks.
You're old.
Yep. Yeah, thanks.
You're old.
Thanks.
So we haven't done a podcast for quite a while, and for this particular podcast, we brought in a special guest. His name is Alex Rzepa, and he has a YouTube channel called Ask Alex. Alex, how you doing? This is Alex.
I'm doing amazing. How are you guys? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course.
So Alex said, tell exactly what it is. Ask Alex. I think it's pretty good. You have about 9 short clips out now, and we enjoy it. What's your whole basis of it all?
I appreciate you asking me and having me on. So around 9 years ago, I started doing relationship coaching. So you can call me a coach, you can call me a mentor. I like to call myself, for example, a self-love guru. And a lot of people were asking me questions. I started in Calgary and I've had various clients. We'd go for walks, they'd call me, we'd have 90-minute sessions, and they would ask me about their relationships, they would ask me about their childhood traumas, they would ask me about why they're not finding the one, their divorce, all these things. So a couple of weeks ago, I decided to get on YouTube, and I always wanted to have a Facebook Live. I do have a Facebook channel now, but I always wanted to have a Facebook Live that said Ask Alex. And every Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday night, for example, I'd come on for an hour, and people would call in or text and ask me questions, any questions they have about their relationship, about their marriage, about how to find the one, about manifesting this or that, anything to do with relationships. And so I started Ask Alex, and it's at its younger stages now, obviously, as you mentioned, 9 videos, but soon it's going to take off and it's going to be sick, and I'm so happy to be sitting here with both of you. That's my spiel.
So what experience do you have? Life experience? Because I know as we get older, you learn things. And I've always said, and tell Sean now, even though he's young, you learn from your mistakes more so than your successes. You learn from your mistakes, and it's what you can teach people. Like as I say, as we get older in this life, you learn, you look back, I wish I would have done this. I wish someone had told me this. One thing I always say to Sean, big thing, my dad always said, I remember when. And I always said, I would never say that. How many times did I say that to you, buddy?
Yeah, a couple times.
I say it quite a bit. I remember when, and this is just experience.
It's a great question. So, I'm 49 years old. I feel like I'm 22. I'm 49 years old. I've gone through, a childhood where there was some abuse. I've gone through a marriage and I've been divorced. I've gone through being homeless, believe it or not, in Vancouver in the past. I've gone through a situation where there was, a couple million sitting in the bank just looking at me, and all of a sudden it vanished. I've gone through a lot of relationships and personal going from, I like to call it going from fear to love. Basically surviving, believing that you're not worthy, believing that you're not deserving. From that to understanding that we're all God's kids. Life is a gift. We don't know where we came from. We don't know where we're going. You just got to manifest and you just got to create and just being aligned with the divine. And so you go from living in fear, which is really, jealousy, ego, all that, to living in love. And so I guess it's my duty before I pass to give, 15-year-olds, 18-year-olds, 25-year-olds, a lot of young kids are very insecure in their home life. They're insecure with their studies. They're insecure in their relationships because their internal dialogue is so screwed up. And so I always felt it's my duty to help my neighbor, to help the younger ones, to help people look at things from a different perspective, a different lens. And that's what I've always wanted to do. I've always wanted to help.
So with Ask Alex, what do you hope to get out of it? Like what I understand what you just told me, but what do you want to get out of it? What do you want to get across to people with your Ask Alex?
That it's okay for them to be where they are. That tomorrow can be different than it was today. That their future relationship can be better than their past relationships. That, life is a gift and it's about really being open and honest, and whatever you're struggling with, to put it on the table and let everyone know, because until that happens, you can't accept yourself. And so Ask Alex, it's about, asking relationship questions. And if you ask me something that I can't answer because I haven't been through it, and I truly believe that that's extremely important, is answering questions from a place of the vibration that you've been there, so you fully experienced it. I would actually try and call people that have and help those people. I genuinely want to help people. It's a connection. It's an incredible feeling, and that's what life is about, I think.
I think you're absolutely right. Sean, if you had a question to ask Alex, what would you ask him?
I don't know. Just I don't know. Maybe I haven't experienced enough. I don't know. I feel like I don't know how to describe it. Like, in life, you don't really know the questions until you're too far gone to already ask the questions. It's sort of what it feels like to me. Like, I don't know how to describe that, but like, you don't know what you're going through at the time, but that when you're done it, you have a clearer mind, so you can sort of ask what you would have done differently, sort of stuff like that. So I'm really not sure.
I completely agree with what you said. Having said that, you still have those thoughts. Mm-hmm. And if we journal down our thoughts and feelings and we reflect on them at night before going to sleep, we all know what we desire, what we need, what we want. But I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
You learn after you experience, oh, look at that. 2 years ago, I was at this situation. Now I came back to the same spot 2 years later and my mind is different, but you wouldn't know. I got what you're saying. I understand.
Yeah, but,
I think I understand.
No, that's what that's what I say to you. Said, like, I know you haven't been overly happy in life, but just because it's far away from home and it's not, you like the big cities. If you were in New York, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
Probably not.
And I understand that, but I say you're going to look back at this, whether it be now, 2 weeks, a year, just what you just said. That's very good. You're going to look back and say it was an experience. Yeah. Good, bad, or indifferent, it's an experience that is going to play a big role in the rest of your life. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter. It was a great experience because it pushed you hard to get what you want.
Yeah.
And you're only 19.
Yes.
It pushed you hard. And I think one thing about all this is, like, when it comes to you or questions, you get to a point in your life as you get older, you have lots to say to people, to share. Good, bad, or indifferent, it doesn't really matter. You need to say it. People aren't going to agree with what we do. People don't care what we do. That's okay. I'm not doing it so people agree with me or anything we do. I'm doing it because it's what I want to do. I'm at the point. You don't like me, okay. Don't like me. I don't need any more friends. It's just how it goes. But I think as a young person, what are the biggest fears? Like, when you're talking to a fellow like Alex,
Yeah.
ask Alex, what's your biggest fear?
Well, getting judged is obviously the biggest fear for like a lot of young kids and I don't know, teenagers, mainly teenagers. Like in school, stuff like that. Like obviously, I've heard of this thing called where it's like spotlight syndrome. I think it's called, where it's like you constantly think everyone's watching you, every small mistake's going to be watched, when in reality, like that's not really the truth. And like I'm sort of already at that point where it's like obviously I'm not past it. Like I still deal with those emotions. But I'm slowly realizing that it's not really quite true either. So, like, younger than me, you're definitely still going to think, like, everything's on you. Older, I can sort of slowly realize that, like, that's just not true. So it's mainly just the judging.
I love that you asked that, and I love that you said that, because as Oprah Winfrey said something 3-4 years ago, she says you have to bring light to it. You have to be mindful of it and put it on the table and address it. Because, think about it, our minds, right, our brains are constructed a certain way, and fear and all that stuff, but flight or flight. But when you think about it, when you have more conversations like this, like I tried to do with my daughters in the past, when you have more conversations and they talk about their thoughts and feelings, after a week or two, they may not feel judged. They may not care what people snap them, because I always tell them it doesn't matter what people say or do. You can't control people, places, or things. You can only control yourself, and you are 1 in 8 billion, and you're the most incredible girl in the world and all this shit. But the more we talk about it, they'll probably get to a place earlier in their life where they stop judging themselves. Maybe at 20, 25, 30, because there's a lot of 70, 80-year-olds out there that are still in it. And as my mom says, you're never too old to learn. So I really appreciate this conversation. I didn't realize it would go that route, but it's cool.
My dad says, I mean, just tell me, you know, it's too bad he's passed. Sean knew his grandfather his whole life until he passed away. Once you stop learning, you're dead. You learn all the way through. No one knows everything. You just, it's a fact. No matter how much you think you know, you don't know it all. Somebody knows way more than you. You learn on a daily basis. But and I've said this to Sean, because he had an issue with some people, no issues. It wasn't an issue. He just got tired of them. Mm-hmm. Like, you just get tired of them because they're not doing, you know, when Sean's in school, he figures you're there for a reason. Study. Don't waste your time. Like, don't party. Like,
I like it.
Don't waste time.
I like it.
And
he's focused and committed.
Well, and that's it. And he was getting mad at them because they weren't putting their effort into it. He's not like that.
No.
But I told him, don't judge those people. It's not your problem. Like, you're going to get yourself all stressed out for something you can't fix. That's not your issue. You study, you work on yourself. You're lucky, buddy. You're a good-looking, tall kid.
Thanks.
And you're smart, and you don't worry about too much. Are you stressed out very often?
Yeah.
You were at the beginning.
Still am.
But what are you stressed about now?
I don't
for
know.
Example?
Residual stress, I suppose.
Yeah.
It's just like, I don't know, when slowly realizing like my dream that like being able to, now that I've been accepted into UFC, coming back to Calgary, stuff like that, it feel like there's always just that residual stress that like, it's hard to believe that that dream's coming true, and it just feels like there's something that's going to just come up and it's just going to stop it. Like, that's like my biggest fear right now. Like, something out of the blue is just going to completely stop my dream. That's like my biggest fear in life. I don't know how to describe it, but it's sort of like that. I don't know how to like describe it. But
it's going to stop what exactly?
Like, when I'm working towards something, even if I've already achieved it, like just out of nowhere, like some random thing. Like, this is how irrational it is. Like, it's just irrational to explain. Like, something just out of nowhere will just like make me fail my tests, get me unaccepted.
Has it happened lots in the past?
It's never happened. That's why it's irrational. Like, that's just sort of like an anxiety of mine, I guess. And like, that's the biggest thing for me. I'm not sure if that's for everyone. I'm sure a lot of people have that like self-confidence that like that's not going to happen to them. But it's like, I don't know. I just have that weird irrational anxiety of that happening.
No. First of all, I appreciate the vulnerability, and I appreciate your openness, and I appreciate the fact that even though you thought that, the contrary happened, which is wonderful.
Yeah.
So I guess my only point to that would be, we all want to wake up happy and go to sleep happy, and the whole purpose of life is inner peace and true freedom. So all I can say to that is, next time you have that thought, change it with that thought of, you know what, this is thought that's coming in, but in the last couple of years or 10 years, I really haven't failed, or I really haven't, these things haven't come true, so it's just a thought. Okay, keep going, thought. Do you know what I mean? Like, don't stop it, but invite it in and understand that and then you kind of like talking. Your
Like
soul is
process
talking
it.
to the thought, kind of like the love and fear, and then you get the fear out. Does that make
Yeah,
sense?
like don't like I don't know. I think of that more like think of it more logically rather than like just pure emotional. I guess like logically, I'm not gonna like
Yeah.
fail anything. Like obviously not. I have a 4.0 GPA, both semesters 2 in a row. I study hard. I know I'm gonna do well.
There's people listening right now going, I want a 4.0 too.
I just want to pass school.
Yeah, that like I guess it's
Sorry
more
to
just the
interrupt.
emotions. Oh no, it's fine. It's more just like I guess the emotions of fear and stuff are more what leads to it. But then when I think about logically, like there's no logical reason why that would happen.
Does that weigh on you on a daily basis? No. Does it?
Live camera fixing.
Does that weigh on you on a daily basis?
A little bit, yeah, I'd say so. Like that's more or less my biggest stress.
But not on every hour on the hour all day long, does it?
Well, only when I
Every 2 hours.
Every 2 hours.
Yeah, every 2
I skip
hours.
an hour.
Yep.
Does
Take a
it?
break. Yeah, kind of. Like if I'm not like playing video games, which is like what I love to do, stuff like that, then yeah, if like I have nothing to think about, nothing fun to do,
But
then yeah, that's what I think
I don't
about.
think that's out of the ordinary. And
It's
that's
not.
called boredom.
I was like, I had the worst thoughts at your age, the worst. And this is the thing is, I always told my kids, my daughter's friends, if you guys need someone to talk to, as long as you get permission for your parents, I would love to, because I know what 15, 16, 17, 18, 19-year-old kids sometimes think about. And even though they're amazing and they're successful and everything about them's cool, their inner dialogue is like, and it's sad, because I was like that too.
But then in that immaturity, look, I don't think that's the wrong word. It's not immaturity, because even at my age now, there's things I think about, like there's just certain things like, and I can't complain about much of anything. Got to be honest. I'm 60 years old. First of all, I'm closer to the end than the beginning. I have the same thoughts. Like you just do. They're there, whether they're real or not. They're there. But the fact of the matter is, it's not realistic. Only reason I say that to you is because you're 100% back in everything you do.
Exactly.
If you want to work at McDonald's, that'd be fine. If that was your choice, that'd be your choice. We're going to back you all the way. You don't ever have to worry about money. You don't have to worry about where you're living. You don't have to worry about not getting to school. So these thoughts are, you're going to fail. Only way you'll ever fail on anything is how you deal with it. And you want to be a computer coder because you're going for your PhD when everything's said and done. It's not going to fail. Unless all of a sudden you make it fail. Unless you sabotage it. You're not that. You're not. You don't do that. So I think is it normal, Alex, to have those thoughts? I know you just said it, but
150%. And you asked a great question. Is it immaturity? Well, the thing is you can have a 22-year-old without those thoughts based on what they've learned the last 22 years from others and themselves. Usually the guardian, right? Or the mentor. Or you can be 79 years old and not be like that because you haven't evolved, you haven't worked on yourself, you haven't learned. So we can't blame ourselves for what we don't know. And so every time we dialogue with our children, every time we dialogue with family and friends and what we're doing now, we're actually touching lives. We're touching our own, but we're touching others' lives. And yeah, I'm learning about so much every day too. And I still go back and forth in my head. I'm 49. I still go back and forth. I'm amazing. I'm not amazing. Life is a gift. Life is garbage. I think everyone goes through. Oh, I shouldn't say that. Many people do.
no, I think everyone has to. These are just normal thoughts. We're humans. We're not computers, not robots. You're going to have those. That's what makes us human. You know, you'd be a prick if you never thought like that. If you thought you're better than everybody, I don't make mistakes. It's a terrible way to go through life. It's just, you don't have no friends that way. You'd be a prick. I wouldn't want to hang around with you, and you're my son.
Thanks. Thanks.
You know,
It's true. We all have similar thoughts, eh?
Yeah, oh, for sure. We all do, no matter how much money you have. And again, money doesn't buy you happiness. Money solves problems. It doesn't make you happy.
This is true.
Problems and happiness are two different things. I think it's
is
interesting.
true.
So I think what you're asking, so at the end of the day for Ask Alex, what's your next step? So right now you have short videos right now. You have short 1 minute vids.
Yes. So my next step is to do Facebook Lives, to do more videos on YouTube, and to do more group coaching, because now I do one-on-one. I want to do more group coaching, and I just want to, help as many people as I can, and meet as many people as I can, and have fun.
My theory on this, I think your next job is a podcast. Like, you haven't done a podcast. You can go for an hour, like all what we just talked about. It's a great thing. It's like we're having fun doing it, and I think this is something that you can share on your Ask Alex, because this is all about you and what Ask Alex is about. And it's a good way to get your message across. And I gotta be honest, so I'm old school. I've owned restaurants. Restaurants are brick and mortar. Brick and mortar. You set up a brick and mortar building, people are coming to you. I can't take it to Edmonton. I can't take it to Scottsdale or Los Angeles, where podcasts and video is all virtual. I can take this all over the world. I can hit, instead of my restaurant sat 200 people, instead of 200 people a day, I can hit 5,000 people a day. You know, I understand it's one-on-one, but I think the way technology is, you can hit way more people by doing this kind of stuff because it's interactive. Zoom, you can interact with these people. You don't necessarily have to be face-to-face anymore.
Yeah.
Because you can still read them. That's my thought on it, on what we do. I
agree.
Like, I'm a handyman. So me and my partner Charles, we have All Hope Handiworks. I could do that anywhere in the world. I can't do it on video because I can't fix their kitchen sink on a video. But it's something that we aren't stuck. We're not stuck somewhere. So All Hope Handiworks can go around and go to someone's house. Where
I think that's what I'm going to do.
It's different. It's like, I think you're on the right track. You have qualities that I'm more stubborn. Like, I think Sean takes after me somewhere. Like, I don't care what people think. Like, I just don't. I've told you this several times. You don't like me, don't talk to me. I'm at my part in life. I don't need any more friends. I have a lot of friends. I have good friends. I don't need more. I have a great wife. I have a great family. I don't need more friends. It's like, you learn that on one of your podcasts, on one of your snippets, in one of your videos, you said that. You don't need a bunch of friends. You need one good one. I've had one good friend for my whole life, 60 years already. I didn't know him when I was a baby, but every day I talk to him more than my wife, Stuart, and I talk to him more often. But you get to a certain point in your life, it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks about you. And you'll learn this, Sean. It doesn't matter.
And you're blessed because you have them, because most people don't have that one.
No, a lot of people don't. And I think, Sean, as you grow older, you're a good guy. You're like me. You're an introvert. You're an extrovert.
Yeah.
Your mom's an introvert, but
yes.
but she's very happy. She's a good lady, and you got the best of both worlds because you can talk to anybody at any time.
Of course. Yep. Of course.
It's
Pretty much. Yep. Sounds about right.
And Alex, so what's your website? How do people want to get a hold of you? How do they get a hold of you?
So website alexrzepa.com.
And I spell that out.
ALEXRZEPA.com. Facebook is Alex Rzepa. Instagram, alex.rzepa. That's it.
And YouTube?
YouTube. Yep.
YouTube is
Ask Alex.
Ask Alex, and it's my name, and then a number. Like they give you the.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think you can custom change it.
Yeah, I need to custom change it.
Ask Alex, and it's pretty good. You have about 6 out now, I believe, 6 or 8, and I think they're pretty good.
Yep, 8.
And you just keep going, and go ask Alex. You want questions? You got questions? Text them. Go Alex. How would they get a hold of him on like any of those, like Facebook? Like they want to ask, hey Alex, I got this. What do I do?
People can email me too. You know what my email address is, which I actually love it. My email address is enjoyitorleaveit@gmail.com, because in a relationship, most people aren't enjoying it. So you either enjoy it or leave it.
Yeah.
At gmail.com.
That's how life should be. If you don't like something, leave it. Yeah. Life is way too short to be miserable. Dad always used to say that too. My dad came with a lot of things. Life is way too short to be miserable. You know, as we get older, as I'm getting older, you're not there yet. But as I get older, like a lot of my friends are starting now, that I went to school, are starting to pass away. That really hits home, like 50-year-olds, 55-year-olds, 60-year-olds, gone. It's like, you could be gone tomorrow. So today, enjoy it. You can't fix what happened yesterday. You can only deal with what happens today. Tomorrow you're going to walk into and you'll see what happens. That's how it goes.
Yeah.
So
also, another way, comment on the YouTube videos. That's a good way of, like, I don't know, just not best way, but like an easier way is just commenting directly on the YouTube videos. Helps improve them and everything. Just, you can ask questions, you can really do whatever you want on the YouTube comments. That's another good way of contacting.
I hope you guys enjoyed this, our 27th episode. The Soggy Pizza Podcast, and a special guest, Alex Rzepa. Thank you, Alex.
Pleasure. Thanks for having me. Yeah. It was amazing.
Hopefully we'll do one before long. Like, we took a month break because Sean didn't want to do it.
Yeah, sure.
He thinks he's got to be good in school or something.
Yeah, sure.
You did good, buddy.
Thanks.
You're
I know I
going to
did.
be 20 this year. You're old.
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah.
You're getting old.
Only about a third of you.
Yeah, no doubt. It's a good thing. You got a whole life ahead of you.
Yes, I do.
Well, I'm Alan.
I'm Sean.
And our special guest.
Alex.
Until next time. Bye for now.
Bye.